Hey everyone, it's Trader Rob. Day number 16 in the small account challenge. Last 2 days have been green. Let's finish this challenge strong. Let's get to the intro. As always, nothing that I state on this channel is financial advice. Trading futures or any type of trading is risky business. All of your capital is at risk. I'm here to share with you guys some of the strategies that I take every morning and to showcase the Robert Anderson Gold Line Trading Bot. Sorry, a few of my kids have been sick, so I feel like I got something coming as well. So my voice is a little froggy this morning. So yeah, last 2 days we've been green with the bot, which is fantastic. Let me throw up our P&L this morning. This is from yesterday. So our account now sits at $1,811.54. So we are clawing back into to get back to our break even of $2,000 and see if hopefully we can make some money on this challenge. Now, if you guys watched the video yesterday,
Order canceled.
hold on one second. So if you watched my video from yesterday, you guys, I gave a pretty good description or a good summary of this bot, and I'm actually very excited for the next challenge, which I am trying to just finalize my details so that my rules from day one is going to be the same as, day 30 in the challenge. And right now what I've got is I want to trade two instruments. I'm going to trade the NQ for sure. And most likely either oil or, here's a kicker, the ES. I know. To be honest with you, we don't even have a template for the ES yet from Robert Anderson. So it's going to be a little bit, I'm going to have to customize some of the settings in there to fit the ES. But if you guys remember way back when I first started, I did take a trade. I had set up the system and I took a trade in ES with the default settings. And I was able to take a $250, I think it was a 1 minute gold line. So I think it was 5 points on an E-mini contract. And I was able to get $250 out of that. Now, that wasn't real cash trading at that point. That was, I think it was on a prop account, or I don't know, it might have even been on the sim, because I remember trading on the sim for the first day or two. So I'm going to fund the account with $5,000, and I am going to trade one E-mini contract in the NQ or either oil or ES. And at any point, if I feel like the instrument is not performing, I will change instruments. I am going to have a more, wow, big reversal there on the NASDAQ. Holy moly. We looks like it tapped into some liquidity down there, but yeah, that was a pretty big reversal bar there. Yeah, so I'm going to trade one E-mini contract, and I am going to be very discretionary as to how I trade the bot. So I'm going to look for biases in the morning, and probably only going to trade it for the first 2 hours of the market, maybe 2.5 hours of the market. So I want to be in front of the charts. I want to, because there's been, I don't want to say every trade, because that's for sure not a true statement, but for damn sure there's been more trades in the green then turn red than just being red right off the bat. We've had some that have just gone straight to stop loss and knocked us out. but for the most part, we do see some bounces, and I think you're able to capitalize. Targets get narrowed in a little bit, and obviously, I'm going to have to see how that affects some of the backtesting results. But the beauty of trading this already for a month is that I can already tell you that a lot of these take profit locations are just a bit too high. So one idea that I have is this, and this is not rocket science by any means. But here's a thought that I have. Let's say we get into a trade. This is the Russell. I'm just using this for an example's sake. Let's say we get into a long here, okay? Obviously, I would know that my area of resistance is going to be right in this area right here, okay, where this pivot's at, where you've had these two big candles that have tried to go up and reach that point. So you've got a double top here, and you know that if the market starts to move, it's going to probably want to tap this into this area one more time. So if I enter into, let's say, a 5-minute red line and my take profit, it gets put up somewhere up here. Well, what I'm thinking is I am probably going to lower that take profit to right underneath the pivot. So again, you're not taking full take profit, but you kind of are, because you are just readjusting the levels based on what price action is doing. And I think that I think just alone will give this strategy a much more fighting chance. So those are a few things that I have thought about. Maybe in the comments below, do you guys think that is $5,000 enough to trade one E-mini contract with some good risk management? I think it is. I really think it is. I mean, the nice thing about this system is that you can pre-built like a shut up, not a shut off. It's not a kill switch, but you can set a max loss for each instrument, which I'm thinking could be $200, maybe 250. I would say 200. So I think that would probably give us room for one. See, I think you got to be at 250, because I think that'll allow you at least maybe 2 losses. I would hate for the system to turn off after 1 loss, but the NASDAQ, we're looking at about a 5-point stop. So $100. Yeah, I think $200 is a good daily stop on that, for that challenge. So that might be what I do. $200 on each instrument, and then have a if I hit a, let's say, $600 in profit, it also stops trading. So I can have those kind of built into it. You could also just set it to, max 1 loss, 2 loss, 3 loss. So the system has a lot of flexibility there, which is great. All right, let's talk about oil this morning. We hit it. You guys saw my videos from yesterday. I got beat up, man. I got beat up. So this was a good trade this morning. Got the setup at 8:05, so pretty much second candle in the session, starting at 8 a.m. Central Time. I'll just take this one off right here. So you would have had your entry right there for a long, and you would have had your entry for a short right there for a short, and you're just waiting to see which direction this market wants to go. Obviously, we got activated to the long, so we had a long setup this morning. I'll take my long tool, put it right at the top of where my entry was at. Stop loss goes to the bottom of the source candle to the left. 32 ticks. Take this up to 32 ticks of profit. No sweat. This thing just kept ripping. 65 ticks you could have got in that trade, but again, I'm 1-to-1 always on my trades. That was the setup there for session number 1, which was great. Took a trade in gold this morning, which is my first time I've ever traded gold. And won. So that was nice. I've been back testing a strategy from our Discord. That's the beauty of the Discord, is that, you know, people, I've opened up rooms for a bunch of instruments and people are back testing it and giving the results. So I started doing my own back test to kind of validate some of the stuff that I was seeing, and I'll put a video out there on that strategy. I think you guys are gonna really like that one too. So 2 winners this morning, which was fantastic. I'm excited to see what the bot's going to do today. It's had two green days. I would love to have another green day here. We only got 4 more days left on this challenge, so it's important to finish off strong here. All right, stick around for my trade recaps and the entire day's session recap at the end. All right, here we get into a 1 minute goal line long on oil. Now, we had a nice continuation, a nice trend upwards, got a nice touch to the 1 minute goal line. We are creating new highs. You know, setup looks pretty good. You know, it's one that I would say don't mind taking here. Speeding up the clips a little bit just so we can shorten the length of these videos just a tad. So we're break even here now, break even trade, obviously minus commissions. We just need to get that push there. Now we're pushing into new highs for the day. Oil had a pretty nice run up today, at least to this point. Still trying. I like these targets too on the 1 minute goal line. I really do. Come on, oil. You've been so good to me this morning. Let's be good to the bot. Come on. Just a little push here. Come on, oil. It's having trouble here. Break even stop, so not too much to worry about. Just, you know, on these 1 minute goal lines, you're just really looking for that continuation trade upwards. Come on. You can see it wants to do it. A few ticks away there. No.
Order canceled.
All right, break even on oil.
Order submitted.
All right, here we are in a setup, again in oil, looking for a long off of a pullback to the 5 minute goal line. So again, this is that same continuation from the previous 1 minute goal line. We've now had a Pretty rhythmic pullback down to the 5-minute goal line. Like this trade. More than likely would take this trade manually if I was trading this manually. Now you've got an area where right where we're getting to right there. I mean, you're going to see some resistance there for sure. But if we can get past that, we've got a very good chance to get to our take profit. So we're at break even at this point. Entry on this one was at 75.13. Take profit, full take profits at 75.73. And the trade is trying. I mean, it's looking, once it got past that pivot, it's feeling pretty damn good about this trade. So maybe wants to retest 1-minute goal line here. Hopefully doesn't want to retest the 5-minute goal line because that would knock us out of this trade at break even.
Order canceled.
We got a setup there forming on the NQ that never ended up happening. So here we start getting another push, and I'm feeling pretty good about the trade at this point. Almost like that flag pattern here where you can definitely would like to see a strong green candle. Come on, oil. Come on, oil, do something for me here. There we go. There we go. All right, so stop here actually got moved. So, there we go. We're out, but we're out with a profit.
Order submitted.
All right, here we're into a 5-minute red line trade off of the NQ. What's my feeling about this trade? So the purple candles there are the ones that are going to start to touch into the 5-minute red line. They have to obviously stay, one part of the body or the wick has to stay within that 5-minute red line. If it closes above it, no trade. Just with the previous push up, there was another little push down and then a bigger push up. Maybe not the best setup in the world. I don't actually think, if I'm trading this manually, I don't necessarily think I'd take this trade. Obviously, the bot took it. We're break even, so again, not much sweat on this trade. Now, the one thing I will tell you on the take profit, and this is going to kind of go into my thoughts for the next challenge. That level right there where you see that blue label, which is 15,824, that's where
Order
I would
canceled.
like to have that order. All right. We out for break even minus commissions. All right, and here we get into a long setup on the NASDAQ. And the NQ, we got a 5-minute goal line here. And like this trade, obviously we get a nice pullback up. We are kind of consolidating there up at that pivot where that blue label is at for a little bit, for about 6 minutes. So, I'm thinking to myself here, break even trade. If we can get past this level right here that we're getting to, if we can obviously get through there, I honestly didn't see any reason why we could not take full take profit here. Full take profit on this trade would it be at 15,883.50. So what looks to be like a big move, but obviously we got to get past this congestion that we're in right here. And you can see there that pretty much maybe a tick or two away from getting out of this trade break even. So we're still in this fight. Not having the best feelings about this trade though at this point. You start seeing these red candles and you're just constantly just inching closer to your stop loss. You typically get that little sinking feeling in your tummy. But there's that green candle. Look at that. Look at that move. I mean, that's some decision there. Now, obviously, we need to get past this level, and this is the tough part of trading, because you can either put your take profit right where it's going to hit and take your, I don't know, 10, 15 points, maybe 10 points, or stay into this trade and really go for the big one. And now I'm starting to feel really good about the trade, because now we closed higher than that pivot, and I'm thinking to myself, we might have here a full take profit trade on a 5-minute goal line, which would be fantastic for the program. That is, those are those home run trades that, you'd really like to see the system take and to get, which it obviously, we went through a period of time there where we just weren't getting a lot of those trades. We're just bouncing right. And we bounced off the break even many times on this trade. So here I'm pretty excited. I'm obviously looking at my P&L there, and I'm starting to get a little nervous now with this red candle. Pretty strong red candle here, and I'm thinking to myself, I'm like, man, if I close this trade out early, I know I'm gonna get torched on the comments. So I'm gonna stay with it. But then I'm obviously thinking to myself, I'm like, ugh, man, would love to take some of this profit home with me. And again, the trade here, it's looking like it's the move's kind of petering out here, and it's not getting that continuation. But I'm cool, calm, and collective at this point. And then now I see this, and now I'm getting another opportunity to either close this trade early, which I really told myself I didn't want to do. We almost knock our take profit here. You can see I have my finger on the trigger for the close position, and I'm like, you know what? No, I'm not going to do it. I'm just going to let this trade go. And sure enough, full take profit. Awesome trade, man. Awesome trade.
Order submitted.
All right, here we get into a 1-minute goal line trade again on the NASDAQ. And, the second that the bot took this trade, I mean, looking at this trade, it's just terrible setup. Manually would never take this trade just because you're going right into that overnight open. Again, manually trading the strategy would not take this trade. With bias would not take this trade. But it took it. You're just going to be you're just banging your head constantly against that overnight open, and a rejection to our stop loss is just, I honestly had chalked this one up as a loss already, just because I know usually what happens when we get that bounce. But then I started thinking to myself, I'm like, well, you know what? This is like the fourth touch of that overnight open that's been rejected. I'm like, well, if we can break through and we can somehow close over the overnight open, then it's something a little bit more interesting here. Something a little bit more interesting starts to open up. And it's and we got it there. I mean, we closed a little bit higher than the overnight open, so I'm feeling better. We haven't gone to break even yet, so I know there's some skin in the game, and this thing could reverse on us and take us out with no problem. But I'm going to be honest with you, I felt really terrible about seeing the trade in the beginning. And then now at this point, I'm actually starting to feel a little bit more positive on this trade. And I already know that if we can somehow buoy ourselves up above this overnight open, and that's kind of like it seems like where it now wants to, the attraction is magnetizing almost to the top of it. And if we can break through this next level here where that blue label's at, where the pivot's at, where it had obviously trouble getting above that before, I'm like, well, this could be a pretty nice trade setup here because now we've got almost like the overnight open as support. We're break even, so we got no skin in the game on this one, minus a few bucks in commissions that we could lose, and here I'm just waiting. I'm just waiting to see what price action can do, and see if I can get another full take profit trade, which is freaking awesome. I mean, that's gonna definitely help the account. That's for damn sure. And pretty excited about the trades that the bot took today, and took a few setups more today that I wouldn't have taken manually, which is strange, but seems to be one of the best days that the bot has had as well. Yeah, I don't understand it either. That's trading. So here I'm thinking to myself, man, if we can really break through here, we've got a really good chance. We need just another real strong candle. We've got a really good chance of tapping that take profit here. And I'm up already on the day, so this is easy peasy at this point. Break even trade, no worries. Starting to feel a little resistance there.
Order canceled.
Full take profit. NQ. And there you have it. Day 16 is in the wraps. We are green, baby. We are green on everything. So, man, the complete opposite of yesterday. What one day of trading makes such a big difference? The bot did, I mean, ridiculously good today. I mean, ridiculously good today. So good that it practically brought our account back to break even. I mean, here it is. Here's our P&L for today. Boom. $1,974. We are 25 bucks away from break even. And that's coming from like the dumps. I mean, we were at, I think the lowest point, we were in the 1600 range. So today we brought in a profit of $162, which is trading two micros. Two micros. That's pretty awesome, man. I mean, sorry, my voice is kind of going out towards the end of the day here, but that is just awesome news. You saw in the trade recap today, I would say that last trade off of the 1 minute goal line, worst setup. Definitely, if I was manually trading this, I would not have taken that setup. We were just going right into the overnight open. And I mean, shit, that had a bunch of resistance there. I think we bounced off of that overnight open at least 7 times. It was crazy. And then I just knew, I'm like, well, if we can pierce through that and then keep the overnight open as support, that TP is definitely in the cards. And sure as shit it was. That was awesome. So the bot performed fantastic today. That's 3 green days in a row. I'm you start trading this and you start going through 5 6 days of losses, and then of course you start rethinking everything, and you're like, well, maybe this wasn't even a good idea. And this is trading. I mean, trading, you're going to go through some periods of ups, you're going to go through some periods of downs. It's what you can do in the long run that obviously determines if one, a strategy is viable, and two, if you're a good trader. So we got 3 days left on the challenge, and then we're gonna bump this thing up. We're gonna go to $5,000 on the account. We're gonna go to 1 E-mini on two instruments, which right now is gonna be looking like the NQ and oil or the NQ and the ES. Yes, I said the ES. So let's take a look at how my other strategies did today. So first off, let me bring up the NQ 15-minute, call this the Rob reversal. No setups here today. And you're going to tell me, you're going to say, Rob, there's a shit ton of setups here. How did you not take a trade? Well, I'm going to go through each individual signal, and we're going to go over how the strategy helps you avoid some pretty choppy. I mean, this is chop. This is just, there's no direction here. There was some moves that, you could have made some money on. Obviously, the bot was able to make some money on. These are 15-minute candles, so just keep that in mind as well. You would see a lot more spreading out if it was a 1 minute or a 5 minute candle. But I mean, there's no real clear direction. It pretty much stayed here. So let's go through each of the signals. So we get a signal here at 8:45 to go long. We get the 15-minute candle that's got the downward, a down candle. We then get the next candle that continues that downward pressure. Very important. So we're creating a new lower low, and a new lower low based on this candle. And we then get that continuation, that thrust upwards. So time-wise, good setup. It's at past 8:30, so that part works. The candle setup works for a long. What does not keep us out, what keeps us out of this trade is that ADMA. As you guys know, I need to close above the ADMA to take this trade. No trade. This is a winner. I mean, this is a winner chicken dinner here, but we are not. We nobody took this trade, or at least I know I did not take this trade. This did not meet my criteria. We then get a reversal. Exactly what we're looking for. We get a pretty strong pull down, sell off, but again, doesn't meet our requirement because it closes above the ADMA. I'm not in this trade. This one would have got you some money as well. We get another setup here to go long, and we don't get into this trade because we are closing below the ADMA. Okay, no trade. Does this get you? Does this get you some points? Man, this one. Let me just take a look at what this is gonna do here. 72 points on that move. But then, as I stated, not a trade, not a setup for me. Now here, almost, almost, we were all primed and ready. This is at 12:30. Everybody's getting kind of excited for a trade here. You guys know I take my trades on the NQ 15-minute Rob reversal one tick above your entry, or above the wick. So you are right here is your entry, and you don't get pierced. So you're not in this trade. Trade reverses, keeps you out of a bad trade right here. Okay? And resets, no more trade. Now, here we go. This is at 1:30, so this is already past my my condition. My condition is it's got to be a 1:30, 1:15 candle is the last candle I'm willing to take on this trade. But again, this trade even keeps you out of this. One tick below, and this wouldn't even activate. So this would need to pierce down here, so it keeps you out of that trade. So all in all, 0 setups on the 15-minute Rob reversal, a bunch of setups, a bunch of chop. Strategy held its own, I would consider, very well today. Now, let's talk about the winners. It was a great morning. I had fun. I had a run to a closing this morning. Um, so I'll tell you what part kind of bummed me out, but let's see. Okay. So here's the morning. Let's open this guy up nice and big. We get let me take this guy out of here so we can see this chart clean. Here's our session start. First candle at 8 a.m. We get I don't know, kind of an indecision candle, but down, obviously a down candle. We then get an inside bar. And what do we do with inside bar? Well, we put our long entry at the top. We put our short entry at the bottom. Which way does it get activated to? To the long. So let's bring in our long tool here. Right there, I believe. Yep. What's our risk? Bottom of our source candle right here. 32 ticks. Does it sound familiar to a lot of people watching this video? 32 ticks today. 32 ticks. We get that take profit, no problem. Session 1 winner, $320. Now, here's a little caveat to that. I took a trade in gold today. I don't trade gold. First time I have taken a gold trade. Winner. Same setup as my inside bar oil strategy. I'm going to make a video on that because I spent probably, I was on Discord last night till about 1:30 in the morning, and I stayed up maybe till 3 o'clock in the morning just back testing the shit out of gold and trying to figure out session times. So I'm going to make a video on that. I think you guys are going to get excited about that strategy. Again, time-based. That's the way I trade. 1-to-1. And I took it this morning right before this oil trade. And no, actually, I think they were at the same time. If I am not mistaken, they were at the same exact time. And got it. Now, unfortunately for me, but very fortunate for all of the people in the Discord in my oil channel, we get another inside bar right here. Third candle in the session. We put our long entry at the top. We put our short entry at the bottom. We obviously get activated to the long. Our stop goes at the bottom of our source candle. 32 ticks. 32 ticks of profit. Session 1, session 2, both winners. Awesome trades. And the nice thing is it's a Friday, so I get the whole weekend with 2 wins, which I needed because yesterday I felt like shit. Not that I felt like shit, but my trades were shit yesterday. Bot did great, but today bot did good. Trades did well. Recouped a lot of the funds that I lost from yesterday. And all in all, very happy with the trading today. So enjoy the weekend. I am going to work on this gold trade setup, hopefully here over the weekend, and I'll probably release that early next week. Next week, I also will be starting my 5K account challenge, just trading the bot, just trading it how I want to trade it. No rules. I want to see how much profit I can make on that sucker. I'm excited. I'm excited for the weekend, and I'm excited for next week of trading. All right, everyone. If you obviously like the content, please give me a thumbs up, comment below, and most importantly, subscribe to the channel. Helps me out tremendously. Happy trading, everyone.